So Morgan took half of what I was going to say. We've been. I know we've been speaking at these things too many times. You know, it's a privilege to be here on Father's Day. And I'm gonna tell you why. Oftentimes, I think in our community we negate the importance of the father, and we cannot forget how important fathers are. And let's be clear. That's whether you birthed a child biologically, whether you're raising a child, whether you're taking care of the big-head boy that lay down the street from you. You know, I was raised not just by my biological father, but there was a gentleman that lived right across the street, and he had a son. And every time he went to a basketball game with his son, he took me. Every time he went to a baseball game with his son, he took me. And what I want all of our brothers out here to understand is that is a part of activism as well. That is a part of standing up. That is a part of being a part of the resistance as well. Spending time with all of those young men in our community who need to feel love. Because while we're marching and while we're doing all that, we have to also talk about the psyche that is happening to all of our young black boys. All of our black boys who walk throughout their streets in fear that an interaction with a police officer could end them their life, in fear that a sudden move to their pocket could end their life. So it is befitting that we are here on Father's Day to talk about how fathering our community and fathering our young boys is also a part of being in the resistance. Now, we've been working on police reform in Harrisburg over the last couple of weeks, and as my colleague said, it is only because of the folks who are willing to get in the streets every day. We introduced these bills years ago. Yes, sir. We've continued to introduce these bills, but folks are moving, and I might get in trouble for saying this, folks are moving because they see the economy not moving. Wow. And we can sugarcoat everything. You know, we can you know, try to cover it up, but the truth is, when you disrupt the economy of this commonwealth, of this city, of this country, now all of a sudden people want to move. People want to address the fact that there are black babies that go to school that aren't getting a quality of education. People want to address the fact that there are men and women who go out every single day and work 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day and still can't provide for their families. People now want to talk about the fact that there are men and women coming back from our criminal justice system that they were already unjustly put in, but now they're treated like second-class citizens. Now all of a sudden people want to take notice. The truth is, none of these issues are new to us. We've known about them for far too long, but now everybody else wants to pay attention. So here's what I suggest on this Father's Day. Now that everybody wants to pay attention, we make them pay attention not just about police reform. We make them pay attention about education reform. We make them pay attention about criminal justice reform. We make them pay attention about economic inequalities. We make them pay attention about every single thing that has been hampering and harming, oppressing, depressing, and suppressing the black community for far too long. Make every single person pay attention to the struggles that we've been going through. Now let me say this, I want to thank all of our white allies for standing with us, because we cannot do this alone. We need you with us. We need you with us. And let me tell you why. Because every other time that there's a march about any other issue, black and brown folk have stood up, have stood with, have marched with, have sat in, and have done everything else. So now that we're talking about these issues that face our community, we need everybody that we've stood with for years to stand with us. Here's the thing, there is no gray area here. Let's be clear. You are either with us or you are against us. You either value our humanity or you don't value our humanity. And for me, there is no negotiating on my humanity. I got into a Twitter beef last night. I was bored at home, so I was on Twitter. Don't go on Twitter when you're bored. Go and get yourself in trouble. So I started talking about the Confederate flag, and I had people who wanted to tell me that, you know, we need to be nice about this. We have to bring folks together. So I was a little confused. I wanted to understand, in what other country are the conquered allowed to still fly their flag? In what other country are those who are oppressed by this flag asked to stand on the sidelines and just let it happen, and talk about heritage? Well, let me explain something to you. The flag represents the oppression and slavery of my people. And I will no longer allow anybody to stand on the sideline and negotiate our humanity. So there is no gray area in this fight. And we have to act in that same manner. So on this Father's Day, as we all stand here and we celebrate the fathers in our life, let us also recommit ourselves to the biggest, baddest moment that we have in history. Right now, this is a watershed moment. We will either go forward or we will go backwards. We're in one of the biggest opportunities of our time. Let us not squander this moment. Power to the people, because it is the people's power. God bless you. Happy Father's Day.